In Southeast Asia's heartland, there is a country shaped by survival, faith, and quiet ambition. It does not demand attention through size or noise, but earns it through depth. The land stretches from floating villages to temple-lined forests, where the past and present are never far apart. This country is not frozen in memory. It is defined by how it moves forward. Cambodia is the name, and its journey is unlike any other. Cambodia is home to over 16 million people, many of them young and determined to write a different future. Its economy is growing, with a multi-industry pushing boundaries once thought unreachable. Khmer culture remains central, rooted in dance, language, and a deep respect for ancestry. The scars of its past are visible, but they do not define the present. Major cities like Phnom Penh are changing rapidly, with infrastructure, education, and entrepreneurship at the forefront. In rural provinces, agriculture still carries daily life, but now with better tools and broader access. Religion, especially Theravada Buddhism, remains a steady influence across generations. Cambodia today stands not as a relic, but as a country in quiet motion. Ready, and let the journey begin. But first, answer our small quest. Unscramble these letters. Hint: a river that flows through 6 countries and brings life to Cambodia's farms. With that, we begin our exploration through Cambodia's past and present, tradition and transition, all on the same path forward. Let's go to a temple that can be said to be the most famous in Southeast Asia, even Asian, Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is located in northwestern Cambodia, within the province of Siem Reap. Ruins blend with verdant surroundings. The majestic complex lies amidst lush tropical forests and winding waterways that accentuate its tranquil setting. Resting on an elevated plateau, the site is encircled by expansive moats and subtle traces of early hydraulic engineering. Commissioned by the Khmer monarch Suryavarman II in the early 12th century, the sanctuary was conceived to manifest divine authority. Its construction spanned several decades, employing advanced stone masonry and intricate bas-reliefs that narrate legendary mythologies. Designed to emulate the sacred Mount Meru, its soaring spires ascend in a quincunx arrangement that symbolizes the celestial abode of deities. Originally dedicated to the deity Vishnu, the edifice functioned as both a state temple and an enduring funerary monument of its illustrious founder. Throughout successive eras, the structure undergoes a profound transformation from a Hindu temple to a celebrated Buddhist shrine. Elaborate carvings embellish its walls, capturing epic narratives that intertwine myth, valor, and ancestral lore. The complex exhibits a flawless geometry with astronomical events alignment, revealing a sophisticated grasp of celestial cycles. Inscribed texts and precise design details attest to an age of monumental ambition and refined artistic prowess. Its vast scale and ornate embellishments encapsulate the cultural zenith of the Khmer Empire, reflecting peak technical mastery. Bayon Temple is situated at the heart of Angkor Wat, the renowned royal city of the ancient Khmer Empire in northern Cambodia. It occupies a prominent position within the expansive Angkor Archaeological Park, where its elevated placement accentuates the surrounding tropical landscape. The temple is set upon a naturally raised platform that provides commanding views of lush vegetation and time-worn stone embankments. Commissioned by King Jayavarman VII during the late 12th century, Bayon Temple embodies the spirit of a cultural renaissance in Angkor. Constructed from meticulously quarried sandstone blocks and robust laterite, its enduring materials reflect the high artistry of Khmer stone masonry. Its foundation marks a transformative period when Buddhist ideologies began to intertwine with established Hindu traditions. The temple complex is distinguished by a series of monumental towers, each remarkably adorned with serene and enigmatic facial sculptures. These carved visages, gazing in all cardinal directions, have intrigued scholars with their refined symmetry and mysterious expressions. The architectural layout reveals an intricate design comprising enclosed galleries and elevated sanctuaries that evoke the notion of a sacred mountain. Bayon stands as the final state temple constructed by a Buddhist monarch, symbolizing a pivotal shift in the religious paradigm of the Khmer Empire. Phnom Kulen towers within Siem Reap province in Cambodia, its elevated summit embraced by verdant jungles and meandering freshwater courses. This revered massif, hewn from ancient sandstone deposits, exhibits a striking interlace of sculpted outcroppings and rugged ridgelines that testify to its profound geologic history. The expansive plateau sustains vibrant ecosystems where delicate plant life flourishes within a microclimate molded by dense canopies and sporadic rainfall. A network of cascading waterfalls and tranquil pools punctuates the landscape, channeling vital waters that nurtured ecological balance and spurred early settlement. Phnom Kulen served as the ceremonial heartland of the Khmer civilization, where visionary monarchs proclaimed sovereignty and forged an enduring legacy. Archaeological investigations have unearthed remnants of an incipient urban grid, evidencing sophisticated hydraulic systems and strategic planning pioneered by ancient architects. The sacred mountain, imbued with profound symbolism, continues to attract pilgrims and scholars in pursuit of insights into enigmatic ancestral rituals. Intricate stone carvings, weathered by the passage of time yet eloquent in symbolism, adorn rugged surfaces and recount legends of divine kingship and celestial mandates. Subterranean channels, and meticulously hewn bas-reliefs further attest to the engineering ingenuity characteristic of Khmer artistic mastery and civil advancement. Phnom Kulen remains an emblem of natural resilience and historical depth, encapsulating a convergence of environmental magnificence and cultural dynamism. Preah Kral Pagoda stands as a serene religious monument ensconced on the lower slopes, its solemn architecture echoing an unbroken lineage of pious devotion. Adorned with elaborate carvings and revered inscriptions, the pagoda functions as a focal point for ritual observance while embodying the spiritual fervor of antiquity. Immerse yourself in the essence of Phnom Penh, an urban center defined by its intricate labyrinth of canals and colorful traditions. Phnom Penh is situated in the south-central region of Cambodia, where three powerful rivers converge to form a dynamic waterway network. The city rests at the meeting point of the Mekong, Bassac, and Tonlé Sap rivers, a junction that has sculpted extensive alluvial plains and enriched sediment deposits. Its urban framework emerges from gently sloping terrain, characterized by fertile deposits and a legacy of persistent fluvial activity. Ancient legend recounts that a resourceful widow recovered sacred bronze Buddha statues from a drifting koki tree, prompting her to elevate a modest mound with a humble shrine. Established as the national capital in the 15th century, when King Panhia Yat transferred the royal court from Angkor Wat, the settlement rapidly assumed a central role in regional power. Historical chronicles attest to a dynamic evolution marked by successive eras of royal patronage that left enduring imprints on the city's architecture and culture. During the decline of Angkor, Phnom Penh emerged as a thriving hub, its strategic location on international river trade routes cementing its significance. Subsequent periods unfolded with cycles of prosperity and conflict, interspersed with episodes of regional rivalry and shifting dynastic allegiances. The French colonial administration later redefined the urban fabric by constructing stately edifices and wide boulevards, influences that persist in the modern cityscape. The tragic Khmer Rouge era wrought profound transformation as mass evacuations and purges decimated the population and altered the metropolis's very essence. Resilient efforts in reconstruction heralded a remarkable rebound, restoring both vital infrastructure and the enduring cultural heritage of the city. Siem Reap stands proudly as Cambodia's second-largest city and the capital of a culturally vibrant province in northwestern Cambodia. Its architectural landscape enchants visitors with French colonial elegance, seamlessly intertwined with authentic Chinese design in the historic Old Quarter and bustling markets. The city thrives as a gateway to the ancient temples of Angkor that emerged during the celebrated era of the Khmer Empire. A rich tapestry of attractions unravels in and around Siem Reap, mesmerizing Apsara dance performances, traditional cultural villages, verdant silk farms, expansive rice paddies, quaint fishing communities, and a tranquil bird sanctuary near Tonlé Sap enrich its diverse cultural canvas. Recognized recently as an ASEAN City of Culture for 2021 and 2022, its status underscores a commitment to preserving and celebrating artistic heritage. A legendary etymology ascribes its name to a monumental victory over Siam, a tale steeped in the centuries-old conflict between powerful regional kingdoms. Oral traditions recount how King Ang repulsed an invading force in the mid-16th century, a narrative imbued with symbolic valor and national pride. Modern scholarship, however, views the popular account as an evocative folk etymology that intertwines myth with historical memory. Under French colonial administration, the modest village transformed into a spirited hub where restoration of ancient grandeur sparked a renaissance in captivating heritage tourism. The colonial era endowed Siem Reap with a blend of modern infrastructure and historical reverence that reawakened global interest in its sacred relics. The harrowing Khmer Rouge period inflicted deep scars on the local population, yet the resilient spirit of the community paved the way for an extraordinary revival. Step into Battambang, an enchanting city where majestic landscapes and an illustrious past converge to create a tapestry of timeless allure. Battambang nestles in northwestern Cambodia beside the sinuous Sangkai River, its fertile plains nurtured by abundant watercourses and verdant rice paddies. Founded in the 11th century by the formidable Khmer Empire, this ancient settlement swiftly advanced into a pivotal commercial and administrative hub along historic trade routes. Its evocative name, inspired by an age-old legend of a mystical disappearing stick, encapsulates in local folklore. Do you know about this legend? Don't hesitate to share in the comments below. Over the centuries, the city experienced fluctuating dominion, transitioning from Khmer ascendancy to prolonged Siamese influence. The advent of French colonial administration ushered in a period of rigorous urban planning and refined European architectural aesthetics while preserving indigenous traditions. Battambang evolved into a crucible of creative fusion, where native artistry intermingled with external innovations to forge a distinctive cultural identity. turbulent episodes during the Khmer Rouge era inflicted profound hardships, leaving indelible scars upon both the urban fabric and the collective memory of its people. Meticulous restoration endeavors and community-driven heritage conservation have since rejuvenated historic landmarks and rekindled civic pride. Continuous archaeological investigations unearth relics and inscriptions that illuminate sophisticated pre-colonial urban planning and ancient hydraulic engineering. A rich interplay between myth and documented history elevates Battambang as a veritable archive of Southeast Asian evolution and transformation. Detailed historical accounts reveal Battambang as a dynamic crossroads where Eastern and Southeast Asian influences intermingled and enriched local traditions. Battambang's evocative fusion of storied heritage and thriving natural landscapes will inspire you to explore its timeless charm firsthand. Ready to discover Kep, steeped in history where every cobblestone resonates with tales of opulence and transformation. Created by royal decree in December 2008, Kep stands as Cambodia's smallest and least populous province, yet possesses a legacy that stretches back over a century. During French colonial rule, this enchanting coastal retreat emerged as Kep-sur-Mer, a distinguished resort that captivated both French expatriates and the local elite. In the early 1900s, the town flourished as an exclusive beach haven, its elegant mansions and charming bungalows symbolizing luxury and refined leisure. Visionary architects such as Van Molevan and Lou Ban Hap redefined its urban fabric in the decades following French influence, integrating modernist design with time-honored Khmer aesthetics. This golden period of creative triumph marked a cultural renaissance that resonated with the era's progressive spirit and the patronage of King Sihanouk. Contrary to popular belief, the Khmer Rouge years did not eradicate Kep's colonial splendor. Resourceful locals disassembled the grand villas to exchange valuable materials for essential provisions. The surviving relics, though often abandoned, continue to whisper vivid accounts of a bygone era defined by sophistication and grandeur. Prince Norodom Sihanouk deepened Kep's mystique by preserving his own villa and an exclusive island, Île des Ambassadeurs, where distinguished gatherings once thrived. Stately promenades, lined with expansive sidewalks and monumental sculptures, evoke memories of a time when Kep was the epitome of seaside prestige. A historic roadway intricately connected Kep with Kampot, seamlessly weaving its remarkable past into the broader tapestry of Cambodia's cultural evolution. In recent years, a resurgence of mid-range to high-end tourism has revitalized the town, allowing its storied heritage to shine amid contemporary revitalization. Koh Rong is a prominent island located in Phra Sihanouk province and stands as the second largest in Cambodia. The term Rong may derive from ancient Khmer words meaning cave, tunnel, or shelter, evoking a sense of mystery and protection. Situated approximately 25 kilometers from Sihanoukville, this destination spans around 78 square kilometers with 43 kilometers of its 61-kilometer coastline graced by scenic beaches. Four distinct village communities exist on the island, namely Koh Tuach, Doyam Deku, Prexve, and Soksan. The locale has evolved into a popular tourism destination as evidenced by the abundance of hotels, resorts, and guest houses that now line its shores. The modern administrative journey began in the year 2000, when Koh Rong was established as a commune. A government sub-decree in January 2019 elevated its status to that of a city, encompassing both Koh Rong and its sister island, Koh Rong Sanloam. A 99-year land concession granted to the royal group has set in motion ambitious development plans for the island. In February 2018, Cambodian authorities designated the surrounding waters and lands as part of the country's inaugural Koh Rong Marine National Park. The island gained international exposure as numerous seasons of the reality television series Survivor were filmed on its pristine beaches. Historically, the waters within a 5-mile radius of the island were under naval authority from 1979 until the turn of the millennium. Since that time, the responsibility for managing living aquatic resources has been assumed by the Department of Fisheries in collaboration with local communities and non-government organizations. The Mekong River stands as one of Asia's most magnificent waterways, its ceaseless current embodying the vitality of entire civilizations. About 3/4 of the drainage area of the Mekong lies within the 4 countries the river traverses on its lower course: Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Celebrated for its grandeur and timeless flow, this legendary watercourse has captivated explorers and scholars across the globe. In Cambodia, the Mekong carves fertile plains and disperses life-giving silt, subtly sculpting the landscape with enduring elegance. Ancient Khmer monarchs revered the Mekong as the lifeblood of their empire, harnessing its abundant riches to nurture thriving settlements. Historical chronicles reveal that its banks served as vibrant arteries for commerce and cultural exchange, fostering the rise of monumental temple complexes. Timeless legends inscribed in stone recount how divine favor was bestowed upon communities blessed by the river's generosity. During the zenith of the Khmer Empire, the Mekong not only supplied sustenance but also symbolized strategic fortitude and spiritual renewal. Colonial records attest to its pivotal role in integrating Cambodia into regional trade networks while inspiring awe among European travelers. In periods of conflict and transition, the waterway functioned as a protective barrier and a vital conduit for mobilizing resources. Successive epochs bear witness to its transformative influence, igniting migrations and catalyzing socio-political reforms across the land. Scholarly research continuously unravels layers of its storied past, intricately linking the river to the emergence of Cambodia's national identity. Do you think the Mekong River is like the Amazon River in South America? Also, this river is the river we wanted to ask you about at the beginning of the video. Congratulations if you answered correctly. Koh Tonsay is a captivating island located off the southern coast of Cambodia within Kep province. Its name, translating to Rabbit Island, reflects both local language and enduring cultural symbolism. Surrounding waters remain shallow with a gently sloping seabed that makes swimming a delightful experience. Covering an area of 2 square kilometers, the island exudes an intimate and inviting charm. Historically known as Tien Moi, during the Nguyen dynasty, the island attracted strategic attention in Southeast Asia. In ancient times, Koh Tonsay, along with neighboring islets, were collectively integrated into the archipelago of Bac Hai Tak under Vietnamese sovereignty. During the mid-20th century, political tensions prompted Cambodian forces to secretly occupy the island in 1958. This military intervention shifted long-standing jurisdiction and redefined regional control over the territory. On the 7th of July 1982, both Vietnam and Cambodia ratified an agreement that established the Brevy Line drawn in 1939 as the definitive maritime boundary. Traditional lore explains that the island's present name evolved from the term Rumsey when a beleaguered Prince Sakor Reach led his exhausted remnants across the sea seeking refuge. His desperate escape inspired a renaming that commemorated both valor and vulnerability amid turbulent invasions. During Norodom Sihanouk Sangkum Reister Neum era, Koh Tonsay served as a re-education center for convicts who also defended the island, with wooden pathways and thatched lodgings later decimated by harsh weather and conflict. Ta Prohm stands as one of Cambodia's most storied temple complexes, celebrated for its remarkable synthesis of human artistry and nature's persistence. Conceived in 1186 under the visionary patronage of King Jayavarman VII, the temple was originally known by the name Rajavihara. Dedicated to the king's own mother, this sacred monument embodies a profound expression of royal devotion and filial reverence. Established as a Buddhist monastic center, it functioned not only as a place of worship, but also as an educational sanctuary during its zenith. The extensive construction reflects the architectural ingenuity of the Khmer Empire during an era marked by cultural and religious renaissance. Following the decline of the empire, the temple gradually fell into abandonment, allowing the forces of nature to reclaim its once meticulously crafted structures. Over centuries, colossal trees advanced their roots into the ancient stone, creating an enchanting tableau that has fascinated historians and visitors alike. Early explorers chronicled this captivating interplay as the temple's natural decay enhanced its mystical allure rather than diminishing its grandeur. Inscriptions and intricate bas-reliefs remain as enduring testaments to the temple's former opulence and the administrative prowess of its era. The historical narrative of Ta Prohm reveals not only an architectural marvel, but also a living legacy of spiritual dedication and cultural triumph. The temple has suffered many historical ups and downs, most importantly, the attacks of the Burmese army and the Siamese army in the late 13th century. The temple was greatly damaged under the trampling of the enemy army. The antiquities in the temple were taken back to their country by the Siamese army. Sihanoukville is a picturesque coastal city in Cambodia, serving as the capital of Preah Sihanouk province, at the tip of an elevated peninsula along the Gulf of Thailand. Known also as Kampong Saom and Preah Sihanouk, the city bears names that honor its esteemed former monarch, Norodom Sihanouk. The urban landscape delights with a remarkable succession of pristine beaches and expansive coastal marshlands bordering Ream National Park. A solitary navigable river, the mangrove-lined U Trojak Jet, gracefully flows from Otres Pagoda into the welcoming sea. Several lightly inhabited islands, administered by the city, enhance its natural allure and diversity. The official designation reflects profound royal admiration, celebrating a leader revered as the father of modern Cambodia. The name Sihanouk originates from ancient Sanskrit and Pali, combining words that evoke the strength of a lion and the power of jaws. An alternative appellation, Kampong Sayom, evokes a sense of lunar mystique and divine maritime symbolism. The indigenous term Kampong Som emerged during a transformative period following the end of French colonial influence and the reconfiguration of maritime access. The development of an entirely new deep-water port began in 1955 with French financial backing and American support, marking a turning point in the city's evolution. During the Vietnam War, the port served as a critical military facility that witnessed pivotal evacuations and intense confrontations. After the fall of the Khmer Rouge and the gradual opening of markets, the port regained its strategic importance in Cambodia's economic revival and progress. Kampot is a town in southern Cambodia, set along the Prek Tuek Chu River, close to the sparkling coastline of the Gulf of Thailand. Historical chronicles first mentioned Kampot between 1771 and 1775, when regional power struggles began to reshape mainland Southeast Asia. During the late 18th century, this strategic location became a pivotal staging ground amid fierce clashes between Siamese forces and local Cambodian defenders. Under King Eng Duong in the early 19th century, Kampot evolved into Cambodia's exclusive international seaport following the decline of the Mekong Delta. The town underwent a profound transformation during the French colonial era, emerging as an administrative center graced with refined architectural elegance and vibrant cultural fusion. Its storied past is marked by episodes of insurrection and foreign intervention, where local leaders strove courageously to resist Vietnamese dominance and assert autonomy. In 1841, a daring uprising led by Governor Ok Nam Mao encapsulated the region's relentless quest for self-determination, reshaping Kampot's destiny in the process. Rain and high salinity create ideal conditions for efficient crystallization and manual harvesting of pure sea salt. Harvesters use traditional wooden tools to gather salt into pyramid-shaped mounds that reflect the midday sun like fields of glass. Kampot pepper cultivation takes root in iron-rich laterite soil beneath the Elephant Mountains, benefiting from well-drained hillsides and humid breezes. Carefully trained vines climb wooden poles, shaded and pruned to preserve flavor integrity through organic, chemical-free farming. Perched atop Bokor Hill in southern Cambodia, crafted in the early 1920s as a luxurious French colonial escape within what is now Preah Monivong National Park. Conceived as a temperate refuge from the region's sweltering climate, the resort was tailored to serve French military personnel stationed in Southeast Asia. Its construction came at a heavy cost, claiming the lives of 900 workers within just 9 months amid the mountain's remote and unforgiving terrain. The crown jewel was the opulent Bokor Palace Hotel, inaugurated in 1925 and flanked by a Catholic church, a post office, and the villa of the resident superior. This elevated enclave not only showcased architectural elegance, but also served as a cultural mirror of colonial leisure and escapism. Revered for centuries by Cambodians, the surrounding Dam Ray Mountains enriched the station's mystique and spiritual gravity. The site was deserted in the late 1940s during the First Indochina War as local resistance, led by Khmer Issarak, ignited unrest. A revival came in 1962 with the creation of the Cité du Bokor, featuring a lakeside casino and newly constructed lodgings such as hotels Sangkum and Kiri. The enclave's resurgence was fleeting. By 1972, Khmer Rouge forces had seized the mountain, plunging it once again into abandonment. In 1979, amid a Vietnamese offensive, Bokor became a strategic redoubt, fiercely defended by the Khmer Rouge. The site remained a contested zone well into the early 1990s, symbolizing the enduring shadow of conflict over this once idyllic retreat. Tonlé Sap emerges as a majestic freshwater expanse in northwestern Cambodia that forms an integral part of the Mekong River system. It connects dynamically to the mighty Mekong via its selfsame channel, converging near Phnom Penh in a hydrological juncture of exceptional significance. Regarded as Southeast Asia's premier reservoir of fresh water, it has held UNESCO Biosphere Reserve status since 1997 in recognition of its extraordinary biodiversity. Its appellation, derived from ancient Khmer and Sanskrit vocabularies, encapsulates the notion of a vast, life-sustaining water body. In the past, it was known by the name Ho Hai. The lake's title echoes the rich cultural heritage and ancient legacies of the region. This unique basin was sculpted by tectonic collisions between the Indian and Eurasian plates within the lower Mekong Delta. Millennial fluvial transformations within the delta culminated in the distinctive formation of Tonlé Sap, setting it apart as a natural marvel. Hydrologically, the lake exhibits a narrow and shallow profile during the dry season, with depths close to 1 meter and a span of approximately 10,000 square kilometers. Conversely, the advent of the rainy period reverses the water flow, inundating the basin so that its area expands to 16,000 square kilometers and depths reach between 9 and 14 meters. This seasonal metamorphosis creates an optimal breeding habitat for a myriad of freshwater species, underlining its ecological prominence. The nutrient-enriched alluvium contributed from the lower Mekong bolsters a vibrant fisheries sector that sustains 3 million livelihoods and fulfills a substantial portion of regional protein requirements. Phnom Sampov emerges as a revered limestone formation nestled within Battambang province, embodying centuries of intricate historical evolution. Its rugged profile crystallized from prehistoric tectonic collisions and sedimentary deposition, chronicling environmental transformations that predate modern civilization. Ancient chronicles interlace with evocative folklore to endow this karstic outcrop with a symbolic persona that transcends mere geology. People tell each other about the story, about the metamorphosis of a forsaken maritime vessel into a towering rock sentinel. A myth has sculpted over successive eras. Multiple epochs, spanning indigenous reigns and colonial interludes, have imprinted distinctive cultural narratives upon its weathered facade. In the throes of political turmoil, clandestine chambers within its recesses recorded grim episodes that echo the shadows of recent strife. Documented narratives confirm that secretive corridors served as execution sites during the darkest moments of the Khmer Rouge regime. Subsequent transformations recontextualize this storied landmark into a sacred pilgrimage destination where hallowed shrines and ancient inscriptions. These bat caves, steeped in local lore and ecological significance, furnish a vivid tableau that encapsulates ancestral artistry alongside enduring natural phenomena. Archaeological excavations have unearthed ritualistic artifacts and intricately carved bas-reliefs that chronicle dynastic ascendancies and rich intercultural dialogues. Tonlé Sap floating villages in Cambodia represent a captivating fusion of cultural resilience and dynamic fluvial evolution. Nestled along the vast expanse of Tonlé Sap, these waterborne settlements arise within a landscape defined by seasonal inundations and receding waters. The floating villages at Tonlé Sap Lake have become something of an interest for tourists visiting Siem Reap. The fascination with people who live in floating houses, travel to floating schools, and eat at is quite an attraction for the many visitors that come to Cambodia. The peculiar hydrodynamic process, whereby the river reverses its flow during the monsoon, has been instrumental in fabricating a distinctive ecosystem that sustains these ephemeral domiciles. Centuries of riverine transformation and cultural adaptation have led to dwellings built on elevated stilts that mirror the lake's unpredictable water levels. Ancient inhabitants, by indigenous wisdom, established these floating hamlets as sustainable enclaves that skillfully harness natural resources while preserving age-old traditions. The regular expansion and contraction of the lake instigated innovative architectural responses and structured community practices that continue to thrive today. There are 4 main villages that are accessible from Siem Reap, and a variety of ways to get there: Chong Nis, Mekri, Kampong Phluk, and Kampong Phliang. Historical chronicles reveal that these settlements evolved alongside ancient trade corridors and artisanal fishing methods that once fueled robust local economies. The convergence of indigenous folklore and pragmatic ingenuity imbued these waterbound communities with a vibrant cultural identity, reflected in symbolic rituals and enduring ceremonies. Intricately interwoven with the rhythmic monsoon cycle, the floating villages sustain a delicate equilibrium between relentless natural forces and human enterprise. Cambodia has faced loss, rebuilt through change, and now moves forward with quiet determination. Its capital has transformed from the weight of conflict to a center of growth and culture. Generations raised in recovery are now shaping education, economy, and global connection. Outside the cities, tradition remains strong, but it adapts with purpose. History here is not hidden. It's part of the landscape and the future. Cambodia stands not in the shadow of what it was, but in the reality of what it is becoming. There are many other places we may not have mentioned. If you know more or have been to other great places, please share with us and other viewers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, to be the first to continue the journey in the future. And now, see you again.